afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to another hobby hangout video. I know it's been a while, but it's good to be back with everyone. And today we're going to be talking about my top 5 places to farm for SP and resources. So this takes both factors in. Guys, this is going to be the same style to some of the last videos. We'll go over we'll do one battle in each of these areas and talk about it while we do the battle. And today we're going to be testing it with the heavier tanks and the veterans, because that is kind of what everyone is farming right now. Now, before we get into that, please make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. That helps the channel greatly. Drop a comment too. We're on the way to get 500 subs, so all the support is greatly appreciated. And with that, let's go ahead and jump into it with our one honorable mention before we get into the true top 5. So going to world map here. This is technically my number 6 location to farm for SP and resources, and we're mostly talking about tier 3 resources here, but there'll be some tier 2 mentioned as well. And that is going to be the Boar Badlands for my number 6 slot. So the Boar Badlands, one of the best features about it, it's kind of got 3 of them. Is number 1 is the way that the boars are spread out. It makes them very easy to attack. You can do the battle rather quickly. And with the vets and megas, it shouldn't take but no time at all. And you'll need to have, I would recommend 4 heaviers and 2 vets, or you'll need probably at least 2 vets to make this go rather quickly. So with that, you get very good gold from this. The gold's going to be pretty similar among most of these locations. The SP will be very good, and you also have the ability to get a tooth. And teeth are probably not the most important tier 3 resource right now. They're probably not the least important, but they are good, especially if you want to kind of start mass producing an army of baby groupers. Those seem to be the most relevant units for mass producing with teeth. And you can also use them to convert into necklaces, necklaces being those tier 4 resources that you can convert using the refinement facility. Those tier 4 necklaces were going to be used later down the line. Now you can see I'm doing this pretty quickly here. They ain't putting up much of a fight. There's no worry about me losing. That's always good to see. And we'll have to switch a little bit here, but you can see I'm taking these guys out very quickly. And just so everyone in the video is familiar, we are rocking with both R4 heavier and R4 veterans. And for anybody who's doing the grind right now, drop a comment. How's that grind going for you? It's taking a little bit longer now that we're here. I'm sure R5 to R6 is going to be just wonderful. But yeah, boom. With that, we can take a look. We got almost 13,000 gold. That's good to see. And then split amongst it, it looks like we have 516 SP for the lot, so 258 total, and the Boar Badlands being our honorable mention. Now, let's go take a trip back to the world map here, and we are going to head all the way down south for our number 5 location, and that is going to be in the Heartland. So the Heartland is our number 5 place to go farm, and that's going to be because of the Rebel Forces. Now, the Rebel Forces give pretty good SP. The battles do get a little trickier. You can do them pretty idly though with the heavier tank and the vets, as you'll see. But with that, really you're kind of going gambling, because the biggest draw here is this is the only place where you're able to get vials. Vials are a very necessary part of the game right now. It's the only place that you can get. It's the only resource you need to produce light chem tanks. In my opinion, light chem tanks are some of the best units available in the game right now, and the more you have, the better you're going to be, especially for boss strike. Also great units to get to R6 if you haven't already. So you can see this is taking a little bit of longer, but there's again no real threat of any of these units really dying here. The SP reward will be pretty similar to the Boar Badlands. I think the main difference between the Boar Badlands and this is that you have the potential to get vials, which is, in my opinion, the better resource. But we should take these guys out quickly. And just so you know, the formations down in the Heartland for the Rebels are a lot different. They vary a lot more than they do in the Boar Badlands, so that's something to keep in mind. But with that, they should all be, pretty easy to take out. But if you have any questions on that, please leave a comment in the video. If there's another formation you'd like to see me fight in the Heartland, happy to do that. And all right, after that, we are looking at a total of 548 SP. All right, switching over to our number 4 location. Guys, that's right, we're heading back home. Now, you're seeing a lot of different attacks that we can use right now. The infected, the raiders, the reef bandits. We have some wild critter bunches spawning here, and even the sovereign navy. There's a lot of options to fight here. For this purpose of this, I think we'll go ahead and fight just a simple raider encounter. We'll use our same formation we've been talking about. And so at home, you get all these formations. They vary wildly in the amount of SP that you're able to get and the resources. But with the raiders, you have the potential to get 3, or you have the potential to get 1 skull, which is good. Skulls are probably my least important tier 3 resource right now. But if you have any of the like the lieutenant fights, you get an automatic 3 skulls from doing those fights. So that's going to be against Tronk or Saren or the third, who shall not be named right now because I forgot. And along with those boss fights, you also have the boss fight opportunities against the Emperor Sandworm, or a version of that. That will give you an automatic 3 teeth, and those give very good SP. While those lieutenant fights are a little bit more difficult, so you just want to be on edge and keep an eye out for that. Now, with that being said, the spawn rate at your base for these battles is a little more randomized. You do have the option of the Reef Bandits or the Sovereign Navy, which we'll get into here very shortly on your base as well. They don't spawn as frequently as they do in other places, but there's just such a wide variety of formations that will spawn on your base, which gives you a good amount of gold, chances for resources, all the tier 4 resources except tier 3 resources except for vials. We didn't get anything here, unfortunately, but I forgot to attack with my heavier tanks, but in total, that's looking at about, 545 SP, if my math serves me well. All right, and with that, we are going to go ahead and sail on over to our number 3 location, which is going to be the Western Ocean. That is right, the Western Ocean. You can click on any of these specific areas in here, but I like to just focus on the Western Ocean in general because you'll get a mix of Reef Bandits, Sovereign Navy, and Shadow Force Navy. Let's go ahead and switch over and fight the Sovereign Navy. So you'll get a variety of different formations through these. With the Reef Bandits, you have the opportunity for teeth or for skulls. And with the Sovereign Navy, you have the opportunity to get up to 100 steel. For fight, you can get up to 2 bars and up to 2 gears for fight. So these Sovereign Navy formations are very good to attack, but you do have to put your thinking cap on a little bit more when you're fighting them. You can just plop down 4 M10s, and I'm trying to rank up the baby grouper and fight them. But again, really good for farming resources, not as good for, brainlessly farming SP. You got to be a little more on edge, but again, still very doable. And you can see with these attacks here, you just kind of never know what you're going to get. So you do want to keep that kind of extra eye out. These attacks can be a little more difficult. Just something to think about as you're doing them, but the rewards are well worth it. As you'll see with this attack here, can be somewhat crippling. But the other thing to note is that I'm sure if you're at level 49, like I am right now, you don't need SP as much for your Navy units because you're really capped at R4 for them. So it's not the best place to farm SP, but it's a really good spot to farm. It's a really good spot to farm resources. And we're going to hopefully not lose this baby grouper. Almost. And as you can see, these are getting kind of low. So this is, especially if you're taking on like the Shadow Force or a big formation with the Reef Bandits, you just want to be really careful because you can accidentally lose something. But we'll go ahead and finish this battle out and see what we get here. All right, we got no resources, unfortunately, but we did get 468 SP split among 2 units. That's pretty good to see. As you can see, I haven't really been focusing on ranking up these units because the next available rank up is at level 56. Don't need them just yet. Alrighty, guys, let's go over. And this is going to be kind of where the controversial picks start to happen, but we'll head home here first, and then we'll hit the world map. And my number 2 location for SP and resources is going to be Bigfoot Country. All right, this is probably a lot of people's number 1 location, and we're going to get into that. So I'm going to go ahead and click here and get a random encounter. And the number 1 reason people love this is they can really mindlessly just plop down their units. And again, we're doing the 5 heaviers and 2 vets, and just get to wailing on these guys. And you can just do this in rapid succession. If you get a really good formation like this right here, where they're all lined up next to each other, better to you. That's going to make the battle go quicker. But this is where people are really getting their R6 vets rather quickly. You can kind of approach the attack any way you want. I recommend the triple attack and taking out as many units together as you can. The veterans are going to mop up most, and then at the very end, it's nice to get that 1 heavier attack in so you can split it down the middle. And again, remember your heaviers might miss a little bit, but with that, let's go ahead and finish out. And boom, just like that. That was a very quick battle. We get 50 stone, 5 oil. You can get a little bit more of those resources depending on where you place the attack, but we only get 2,000 gold, so a lot less gold than we're getting on these other battles. But the positive note here is that you don't need to wait for any of these formations to spawn. You can just go ahead and attack. And with that, we got 476 SP split among 2 units. And you can do that rapid succession, just back to back to back to back. You can do it pretty mindlessly. People love to come here for SP. So this is probably the number 1 spot for SP, but it's not going to be your number 1 spot for resources. We're going to go take a look at your number 1 spot for resources and SP. So in my opinion, I think it's got to be Recoil Ridge for me. This is my favorite spot to go to. And the reason this kind of beats out Western Ocean, where you do have the opportunity for the same resources plus steel in the Western Ocean, is people just really aren't ranking up the naval units right now. They kind of really got them already mostly maxed out. So if you want to rank up these land units, and that's what we're all trying to do, right? With this new update with the heaviers and the vets, this is going to be the place to go. The battles just really aren't too hard here. You're going to have just such an easy time if you do the 5 heaviers and the 2 vets formations. And I've been having some luck today on these, so I've been getting, 1 bar and 2 gears per battle. We're going to see what we get here. But also, guys, not only are we getting good resources off this, and can we do these fights rather quickly, not as fast as the spider wasps, but we can get a ton of SP from these fights. We're going to see that at the end here. What I would note is that the Silver Wolf formations do vary, just like they do in the Heartland with the Rebel formations, but they are pretty easy to take out, probably a little bit easier than the Rebel formations are, just because they're these unique Silver Wolf units, and they just make the process go by a whole lot easier. So we're going to go ahead and finish these guys up. And you see how much damage that veteran is doing at R4. It's going to be really good at R6. And guys, these are the 2 units on screen right now. I would highly recommend getting to R6 first of the new update. We're going to talk about that in another video that's coming soon, just some of the new units they're coming across. But we're going to go ahead and finish out this battle real quick. Make sure to attack with the heavier there. That'll be fine. And then we'll finally finish with our vet. And there we go, guys. So this was a little bit less SP than we could normally get, and we didn't see any tier 3 resources, unfortunately, in this video. But with that, we are getting just about 600 SP per battle on this. This can range anywhere from 500 to 700 on these Silver Wolf locations. Really good place to farm, and you can get really lucky with getting gears and bars here. Those are probably the 2 most important tier 3 resources that are more readily available. Vials probably being the most, but that's just due to scarcity. But with that, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I appreciate you tuning in. We're going to try and get some more videos out towards the end of the year here, now that we're past my work busy season. And guys, make sure to tune in every Wednesday for an episode of Battle Nations Radio Live. We're going to have that coming up here soon. But with that, guys, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time.